is it that you could bring to the DA's office that would make them appreciate what music piracy investigations can do for their regular criminal caseload?
Well, I think number one, it has to be stressed that this crime, this type of crime, affects quality of life in the DA's jurisdictions, the cities of which they work and live. But the other thing is that it's a link to a lot of other crimes. And I tell the prosecutors and I tell the police officers that I work with all the time, use this type of crime as a tool. This might lead you to a drug investigation. It might allow you to have probable cause for a drug house. You couldn't get in before. Well, now you can get in by purchasing or doing undercover purchases of CDs. It also has links to some terrorist organizations for those federal prosecutors out there. There's a number of cases that we're working on right now. But what we're seeing is also a link to selling drugs with the CDs and some gun activity as well.
Frank, do you find that some of the people who may be on parole or probation or may have some crimes in their background, a murder, homicide, or whatever, might be gravitating to some of this type of piracy?
More often than not. We find that most of the defendants we deal with are recidivists. They have spent time incarcerated on much more serious crimes. We've had situations where there have been robberies, homicide, parolees. As Deborah stated, there are some sayings in certain parts of the jurisdiction when you buy a CD, would you like it with or without? The with is the CD enclosing a piece of crack or whatever the case may be. We continually, in working with law enforcement, find that these locations have everything from handguns to large quantities of narcotics, cocaine, marijuana, to counterfeit money. So it really goes the gamut on what can be found during one of these investigations.
Oh, wow. What a video, huh? Right there was the RIAA training video. Well, welcome to Tuesday, February 26th. I'm your host, Katie Boyer, along here with movie announcer Phil, out in the cold. Yes, we're braving the elements today. Well, what do you think about that training video?
I think they're a bunch of ass clowns.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that they compared music piracy to, you know, people, murderers. Like, the murderers are really going to be in prison and think, when I get out, I'm going to do music piracy. Or
ridiculous.
What about terrorists?
I know.
I think terrorists are really worried about music piracy. Like, that's where the money is, music piracy. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, the thing is, they say that all iPod owners are thieves because every single iPod owner has stolen MP3s on it, stolen music. So I guess they're saying that every person that owns an iPod has been in jail or will be in jail for killing someone, for dealing drugs, or running guns. Well, that's really what they're saying.
I think it's so funny that they really think every criminal out there is really interested in being part of the music piracy, you know, team. You know, like there's some big team out there with, you know, like, ooh, music piracy, yay!
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody's a part of it. It's like they think that it's just so much a part of everybody's lives. Yeah, they just are assuming that everybody, whether you're a hardened criminal or you're an 8-year-old that got an iPod for your birthday, is, you know, stealing music.
Well, that 8-year-old's going to grow up to deal drugs in school and run guns and everything else.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
Well, yeah, and I guess you need to watch out if you're going to buy a CD from someone. So, are you going to have it with or without?
Yeah, really.
I don't know. I would love to hear what the audience has to say, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah, come on, Phibble.
Yeah, leave your comments on Phibble.com/Phibble4, and it would be great to go through them and read them. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about something kind of cool. This guy up in Canada that barged in on John Lennon and had a little chat.
Yeah, that was really cool. It's a great story, and I think it's kind of inspirational. You know, this kid, okay, I'll start at the beginning. Jerry Leviton up in Canada at age 14 back in 1969, his hero was John Lennon. Now, he had heard a rumor that John Lennon was in town. So, on his own, he skipped school that day. He dressed up like a reporter, what he thought one would look like. He went down to the hotel that the Beatles had stayed at before when they had come through town, and he just took the elevator up and he started knocking on doors. Could you imagine that at 14? So
Kid's got some balls.
yeah, definitely. So basically what happened, a maid stopped him, and he thought, oh, great, you know, that's it. That's the end of it. She said, are you looking for the Beatles? And he said, yes. So she said, oh, they're in, you know, he's in room whatever. And basically he went in there saying, you know, like Canada Press or something. They let him in. And, you know, John and Yoko were up there. It was part of their, like, bed-in phase. And they were talking to reporters. And he got a little bit of, he borrowed his brother's, was it,
Just some camera, I don't know.
A camera from his brother he didn't even know how to use. Got a little bit of footage that way. He ended up having a great conversation with John, and he got invited back that night, 6 o'clock that night. And he had this exclusive interview with John Lennon that he used an audio recorder for that night. And this is what he did after all these years, after having this great exclusive interview. A few years ago, he thought, you know, I should do something with this.
All these years to do something, a book, talk about a movie, talk about a TV special, all these kind of things. But nothing ever really grabbed me. I didn't want to do anything that, A, demeaned my experience, and B, would be commercializing John or what happened. So about 3 years ago, I thought, you know, maybe I'll do it in an artistic way, get some young filmmakers or artists, get their take, a fresh take on what happened. And I started talking to a number of artists and filmmakers in Toronto, and that led me to the brilliant and talented Josh Raskin, who had made a few short films. And I saw one film, it was black and white, with a guy running around in a forest or something. Nothing to do with my experience, but I thought, okay, the guy's got talent, he's got wit, he's got intelligence. So we started talking, and that led to him one day saying, how about we shorten your tape from 30 minutes to 6 minutes or 5.5 minutes and animate it? And before he could finish the sentence, I said, great idea, let's do it.
John, could you please tell us what the situation is with you and your entering the United States?
A lot of people don't want me in, you know. They think I'm going to cause a violent revolution, which I'm not. And the others don't want me in because they don't want me to cause peace either, you know. Because peace is big, war is big business, you know, and they like war because it keeps them fat and happy. And I'm anti-war, so they're trying to keep me out, but I'll get in, you know, because they'll have to own up in public that they're against peace, you know.